The Bluetti saves the day. So this is the brand new Elite 200, which will give you 2 kilowatts of battery backup power. Now, we've just had a power cut, but fortunately, because we've got the Bluetti, we can plug the fridge in at home and not lose everything that's in the fridge. Now, in our lorry build, our main setup is run through a bigger Bluetti, and this powers our complete lorry, so completely off grid. We've got 1200 watts of solar panels on the roof, 3 kilowatts of battery storage. That then allows us to run our fridge when we're travelling on the mains. It allows us to run the microwave. We've got an electric induction hob. We've even got a boiling water tap, so even when we're travelling, we're able to run everything on the mains electric and still have everything working as we normally would. Now, you might think that campsite electric is quite expensive, but actually if you go to a horse show, we're paying anywhere from £30 to £70 a night just for electric. So having our battery storage option and being able to run off-grid subject to the weather can save us costs immensely over the season. Now, another great product that Bluetti have come out with is the DC to DC charger. We're just about to fit this to our lorry so that we can actually charge the Bluetti up as we're travelling. And again, if we get any times where we've actually got no sun or we've got not enough sun, we can actually use our engine to recharge our Bluetti. All that we do with this little unit is we mount this by the vehicle battery. We've got an input, so we connect these up to our battery of our vehicle, and then our output is actually going to connect to our other solar connections on our input on the Bluetti. On our recent trip up to Scotland, we've got about 6 hours of travelling. Now, during that time, we actually hadn't got any sun going along. So with this charger unit fitted, it means that the Bluetti is constantly being charged, and this pretty much fits and works with 90% of the Bluetti power stations that are available, especially with the V200, which is what we're going to be featuring more in a minute. So we've come with some protection from the battery into the charger unit. We've then got our cables that are protected again, so this can run a long distance actually to the Bluetti. Now, on our vehicle, our batteries are mounted at the front and our Bluetti is mounted to the rear, so hopefully we've got just enough cable to run from the battery position to the Bluetti charger and then onto the inputs of our actual Bluetti. And that'll just mean that if we've not got glorious sunshine like today, when we're travelling along, our Bluetti is still going to be charging no matter what. And again, if we get onto site and we're getting a little bit low and we've been there for a couple of days and we've started to run low on power, we can actually start the vehicle and top that battery up. But hopefully, when the main time that we're using it through the summer, we should get enough sunlight with our 1200 watts of power to keep that battery charged up and give us more chance to use it. Now, the V200 has got a 2 kilowatt battery, so considering that we're trying to run this whole lorry off a 3 kilowatt, and so far we've done quite well with that. I think the 2 kilowatt should be plenty for your camping trips, your motorhome and your caravan. And again, if you can put solar panels up on the roof, connect it into the actual Bluetti V200, it's just going to keep that going through the day. And again, obviously for the caravans and the motorhomes, you've also then got your options for your fridge to be running off the gas, whereas we tend to run this off the mains electric. Your hot water should be able to run off the gas. So there's not actually that much that you're going to be running off the main 230 volt, but it's nice just to have that 230 volt power without paying the extra fees on the campsites for your electric. This is going to mean when you actually get to your campsite that you're going to be able to save quite a lot of money over the season, and obviously the more that you're actually using that Bluetti off-grid, the more that you're going to be saving and the more trips that you can potentially then go on through the year. So our recent trip to Scotland, it was about 4 days in total. It was about £50 per night for the electric. So just on that 4 days, we've actually saved £200 not having to use the electric and just going straight off grid and being able to use the Bluetti. We did, however, find that we started to get a little bit low on the one evening, and we had to swap everything all over to gas just to keep the last little bit of power, and that was mainly because we'd had real bad weather. The 6-hour journey reduced the battery because we didn't get much sun on the way down there, so hence why now that charger unit's going to be fitted. It means then that you can do exactly the same whether it's your car and you've got the Bluetti in the back of the car and you'll run the Caravan via that, or whether you've actually fitted this into your motorhome, and again you can run it from the motorhome engine battery that will run through the alternator and keep that Bluetti charged in between travelling and around. So again, very, very much for your motorhomes. The V200, it's a nice small compact unit. If you're sort of travelling, if you're doing the NC 500 for instance around Scotland, with that charger unit you're going to be topping that battery up, and it's going to mean that you can stay for longer off grid without having to worry about hookup. So Bluetti currently have given us some discount codes for the Elite 200, and also I think some of these codes might work just on other products. So if you wanted to go for the AC 500 with the extra battery power that we've done, again that's an option that you might be able to get a discount code. So check in the description for the discount codes that Bluetti have got running at the moment. Coming up on screen now is our discount code for the Bluettis that will get you 5% off the Elite 200. There's also in the description a Amazon code that, again, all the Amazon deals that are currently on, so check out those on the actual Amazon via the link in the description. And if you want to head over to the actual Bluetti website and see what else that they've got available, you can do that. All of the products that we've mentioned are on the Bluetti main website, and again with our code that's just popped up you'll be able to get 5% off. Now the Elite 200 in specific, we've got outlet sockets so we can plug our Caravan or motorhome directly into two 30 volt sockets to the side here. We've got our DC outputs, we've got USB sockets and a USB-C. We've also got a DC output, so your normal sort of charge, cigarette type charger, and then we've got a DC input so we can put our solar panels, or we can connect in that little charger unit to charge this up as we're going along. Now this is going to give us 2 kilowatts of power, and it'll actually allow us to power items that are up to 2,600 watts, so hair dryers, kettles, anything like that. As long as they're under 2,600 watts, we're going to be able to run these via our little Bluetti Elite 200. So this is a nice compact portable unit that you're going to be able to put into your Caravan, your motorhome, in your camper, or actually if you're going tent camping, you'll be able to again power up, have your heating running through this, and put solar panels outside and charge this up as you're going along. So a really, really good product, the Bluetti. Products in general, I've tried a lot of the different solar chargers, power banks, etc., and the Bluetti just seem to be a lot more reliable, a lot less trouble than a lot of the other types, and a lot easier to use, and they'll actually run right down to sort of the 10% battery life. So a lot of the other products, as soon they say that they'll sort of get down to 10% of battery and you can still use them at that, but actually at sort of 30-40% I've found that the other types of power banks have actually cut out and stopped working, so you've lost sort of half of your battery life, where the Bluettis, we actually ran this down while we're in Scotland down to about 3%, so it's not advisable to really do that. 10% is where you want to keep these batteries at, but they will go down, discharge quite far, and then you can charge them back up no problems as well. So just sort of, we've used these now for a good couple of years, and the Bluettis really have sort of stood out from everybody else and been a lot more usable, which is hence why I took the step and built this into our lorry build, and that is our main power source. So that is sort of what is completely running the lorry, and we can run that off grid. So hopefully you've enjoyed this little sort of video. Hopefully it's give you an idea of how you can potentially use the Bluettis, whether it's motorhoming, caravanning, camping, or just in general. Again, just having it in the back of the car. We've just had a power cut today, genuine power cut, so we've been able to connect our little V200 up, and that's connected in the house now to the fridge, so that's running. So it's not just sort of this and that sort of thing. It gives you the opportunity then the 2.6 kilowatts of power, or 2,600 watts of power that it will run. So power tools you can actually use out and about. You can connect it up into the back of the car, you can go then completely mobile and use that. Again, with that charge you can recharge it up in between. Lots of uses, which is why I like them, and we've got a few different power banks from Bluetti knocking around because they are very useful. If you've liked the video, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and we will see you soon. Don't forget, use our discount codes and enjoy the Bluetti products.